Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa, and we are live with another edition of Pat's on Periscope for this 12th day of October 2015. And boy, I tell you what, if you were out and about today, you were blown all over. Man, I just should have cranked a sail up on the view and sailed around town today because it was windy. Messed up my hair. And messed up a lot of people's. Nice thing about wind, I don't have to rake my yard. I don't rake it anyway. And so anyway, the leaves just blow away. And yes, I've been to Pella, Iowa. And that's the old joke is that everything down there is van because they don't know how to spell truck. That's my Pella joke. So anyway, that comes from the peanut gallery down here below that always writes in, and I welcome them. On the replay on this on randomaccess.bz on Wednesday, you probably won't, well, I know you definitely won't see those questions. But if you do get a question, I'll repeat it, and then everybody will know. So they want to know if I'd ever been to Pella, and I had. But let's talk a little bit about weather and the weather apps that are available. There are a lot of weather apps. You can get them from the Play Store or the iTunes Store, and you can see those as they pop up on your screen. A lot of local weather stations also have them. I use the KIMT weather app from our friends Adam, Frederick, and the gang up there in Mason City, Iowa. So I use the KIMT weather app. It does everything I want it to do. It tracks me around, follows me if I'm in Rochester, Minnesota, or if I'm in Pella, Iowa, and I'm not Dutch. And if I'm down there, it knows where I'm at, and then it will customize the weather forecast for me if I'm in Pella or Rochester or Waseca or just good old Hampton, Iowa. So if there's a tornado warning or a blizzard warning or something like that, it flashes as well. So it's a nice little weather app. I know KCCI has weather apps as well, but I really, really, really like the KIMT weather app. They've done a good job. They don't over harass you about storms or things like that. They buzz when they come about, but they don't over harass you. So, and that's a good thing. So that's what it is good for. Now, when you do use a weather app, I try and stay away from the ones that ask you to sign in with your Facebook or allow Facebook to use your information because they don't need that. If I do something like that, I will sign in with my private email address and password, or just skip it and do something else. But I usually don't use the Facebook portion of it to sign in with Facebook. They just don't need that amount of information. So it's a separate login, and I do protect the login. I've noticed that lately on Facebook is they want you to, if you want to read a news article, sign in with your Facebook credentials. I never do that because there's no sense on them giving that information. If that news was that important, you'd find it somewhere else online. So sometimes I just Google that news, and sometimes it's hoaxy stuff anyway, so I'm not worried about that. Something I saw the other day, and I ran across this video the other day, and I was watching Dr. Phil. Yes, he likes Dr. Phil. Watching Dr. Phil the other day, and it's reiterated it, is a lot of teens, and really happens more towards girls than it does for boys, as far as you get a teenage girl online, and all of a sudden every boy in the world tries to hit on that girl or pick her up or take her on a date or whatever. Anyway, parents have fought back, and what they've done is they've partnered with gentleman, I can't remember what his name is. He's going to be in the video, and I'm going to feature the link down below when we transfer this to YouTube and to the blog. That he has messaged these girls, says that he wants to meet them, and then he has the dad or the mom with them when they go meet. The scariest one was when he pulled up in the van and the girl got in the van. And the dad was in the van, and this scared the living bejesus out of her. But they needed to be scared that way because somebody creates a fake profile or a fake account, and it may not be that 15-year-old boy. It may be some 60-year-old man or whatever that's going to be hitting on your child, and you certainly don't want that. What you might want to do is use your child's phone once in a while on chat and just monitor it and see who comes in, or read their past messages if they haven't deleted them, or make a rule that you don't delete messages. That could be another rule as well too. So again, there's reasons why Facebook has rules on age limits, and 13 is the age limit. And even 13 to me, somewhat young. But anyway, that's the line they draw in the sand, is 13. And so some of that's not meant for children under the age of 13. But just be very, very careful. Monitor your kids on Facebook or Twitter or the Snapchat thing or all sorts of these things. I think this is definitely worse than bullying, because this could be an abduction type of situation. So just keep in tune with what your kids are. Hey, New Jersey's in the house. Just keep up with what your kids are doing online, and that's going to be saving you some steps later. I don't want to see you on Dr. Phil with your teenage daughter going, hey, he said he was 25, and the kid, was this or that. So you just don't want to put your kids in that sort of trouble. Hey, something that is coming up on the 24th, maybe you've gotten your postcard. It is the Midwest Social Media Summit, and that is going to be October 24th, starting at 8 o'clock at the Nyack campus, Muse Norris Conference Center. And they're going to be having some classes all through the day, throughout the day at Nyack from 8 until 3:30. And if I said it once, I've said it a million times, if that thing ends at 3:30 and all the conversation is stopped, yeah, that won't happen. There's going to be just people asking additional questions. And that's the great thing about a social media conference, is when the conference is over and people are kind of milling around and doing whatnot, you still have time to ask questions and get some questions answered. So that's a great thing to do, is to hang out and talk to the presenters. If you do have another question, get that question to the folks for that. So make sure that you come by there. I think cost is $49.99, and you're going to have a whole day full of stuff, including my presentation on Periscope. You won't want to miss that. And also, there's going to be various guest speakers, both regionally and nationwide. The cool thing about a regional speaker is over a national speaker is sometimes the regional speakers know how things work around our region. Even if you had a speaker come in from Kansas City or Chicago or Minneapolis, does that speaker know the exact dynamic of Franklin County or on maybe in Cerro Gordo County, or our north central Iowa region? So there's a lot to be said about national speakers, and they're great, and they're great attractions to come in. They're a great draw, but sometimes they just speak in generalities and not on what really needs to be covered locally. They could talk about best practices, but putting those best practices into effect is what we really need. And so that's what we have. We're going to be talking about at the Midwest Social Media Conference. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. That is from 8 until 3:30. Lunch is included, of course. That's a great thing. A couple of hoaxes this week. The mermaid that was found on the beach probably wasn't a mermaid. Probably not. So anyway, I've seen a lot of those posts about the mermaid. It is probably not it's probably on Facebook, but it's probably not real. Of course, it's not real. I use my friends at Hoax Slayer, hoax-slayer.com, to solve a few of these mysteries of the hoaxes. Also, I've seen, of course, the Democratic debate is coming up on Tuesday night. I've seen a number of photos with Hillary Clinton shaking hands with Osama bin Laden, and that didn't happen either. It was a Photoshop thing. So, people have to just question some of those things. Just because it's in your Facebook feed just doesn't always mean it's true. And we finally got over the couple weekends ago, somebody posted about daylight saving time coming up this week, and they were springing ahead. It should have been falling back. Well, I did some investigation, found out that that was for Australia or for the Southern Hemisphere, and you would down there spring ahead, and it was last weekend, and it was at 2 o'clock, and so it just happened just like we do up here, but their seasons are a flip-flop from what ours are. So very few people could comprehend that, and they just started arguing and arguing and arguing, and so everyone says, this is a hoax, this is wrong. Well, it wasn't wrong in Australia, and that's where I traced it back, and that's who had it posted, was somebody from Australia, and then somebody shared, and somebody shared, and somebody shared. So that's what we had with the daylight saving time thing a couple weeks ago. It wasn't a hoax if you were from Australia. So our daylight saving time, you fall back November 1st, so day before my birthday. We gain an extra hour. That's a birthday present to my wife, because that is her favorite holiday, is fall back. Anyway, that's what we have today for Pat's on Periscope. Of course, weather apps, get those. Don't use your Facebook stuff to sign in with those. Just download those straight from your favorite local TV station, or you can go to weather.com or the major weather players and do that. Teens and chatting with strangers, keep an eye on your kids, and also that social media conference, the big summit. Summit is the big buzzword this year. Everybody has a summit this year, and so we're having a Midwest Social Media Summit this year. It is October 24th. That's a Saturday, 8 until 3:30. We hope to see you there. I hope to see you back next week on Pat's on Periscope. Don't forget, we replay this on Wednesday at www.randomaccess.bz. You can find the Computer Guy. What I do for a living is fix them and repair them and sell you new ones at www.thecomputerguy.bz. So anyway, that's what we have for today. We will see you next Monday night. Maybe. I may do a Sunday night, because next Monday night, the Long Island Medium comes to town. We're going to be seeing the Long Island Medium, and that's going to be next Monday night. So we'll figure out what we're going to do for next week, but we will have a show. Just keep it tuned right here to your favorite Twitter channel, and make sure you follow me back on Twitter at YanksPat. That's YANKZPAT right here on Twitter and on Periscope. I'd like to see a few more followers and a nice audience for that show. So anyway, make sure you visit me at www.thecomputerguy.bz. Let's take care of those computers out there for you. Anyway, we'll see you next Monday night.